What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mevo Multicam Live. We are on location right now, and I'm really excited to do this show. It's a beautiful, beautiful day right now. We are on a baseball field near the Mevo office, and right now I am broadcasting using 3 Mevo starts, and I have Mevo mic set up, and that's how you're hearing me. So let me give you a quick tour of the cameras. We've got obviously this nice wide shot of the field. We've got a first base cam all the way over there. I don't know if you can see me. And then I've got a nice handheld camera that I can give you a nice tour of the field with. So I'm extremely excited about this. And if you see on the screen, as you can see, there's the Mevo Start 3-pack. I want to run through that really quickly. So right now we obviously have the Mevo Start 3-pack available on Mevo.com, and this is really a great way to jump into multicam. It's really a great deal, and we've got it, I'll show you real quick. There you go, available on Mevo.com. We also have a DJ bundle, and this is a Mevo Start case, a power over Ethernet adapter, and a floor stand. That's what I'm using right now for my Mevos and their setup. So right now, let me talk about the setup a little bit more. Right now we're using a wireless setup where I'm using an Orbi wireless router. Let me kind of take you along with me. Alright, so I've got an Orbi wireless router set up in our dugout over here. This is great because it lets me have so much further range than just using Mevo in hotspot mode. As you can see, super easy to set up. I have it being powered by external battery, and this will last for hours and hours. It's really easy to set up, as I've said before. And something that we're going to try in the future as well is to use 2 wireless routers to have kind of a mesh network and have even more range. But as you can see, I'm all the way here on the pitcher's mound with no issues. This is streaming 1080p directly from my phone, and I'm not even using a 5G phone. This is a 4G iPhone 11. So it's pretty cool that we can have this kind of range. Now, obviously, with the Multicam app, you can have these great graphics. I've got the 3-pack advertisement there, but we can also have some baseball graphics. Also, if you have any questions, please be sure to put them in chat. I won't be able to answer them directly, but we have some great team members that are in the chat and able to answer those questions and send you links. So as you can see right now on the screen, I have the nice team score, team names. I also have the inning and the bases. All of these are PNG graphics, incredibly easy to do. They're transparent, and these are all full screen overlays. This allows me to do stuff like quickly adjusting top or bottom of the inning. I can quickly change the score by just tapping edit. It's actually a little bit trickier when you have just one hand for everything. But just like that, can easily change the score. And it's really nice to have these graphic overlays in the Multicam app. It's something that we just recently added with version 1.0, along with crop and zoom, which we can actually play around with a little bit right now. So I'm going to walk back out here to the pitcher's mound. And I love the freedom of this. If you're a coach and you need to coach while doing all of this, it's really easy to do. Obviously, it's a little bit loud right now because we are in the middle of Brooklyn. There's a lot going on. But let's play with the zoom a little bit. So by just tapping the, let me get rid of the graphic overlays real quick. But it's really easy to crop and zoom, which is now part of the Multicam app as well, and then line up that great shot. I can go even further in, but obviously the more that you zoom, the more the picture gets degraded. So we like to have it pretty far out. But that's really the point of having these cameras where they are, is because you want to capture the entire field. You want to capture everything going on. And another great thing that I want to talk about is that every one of these cameras is recording. I'm using both record to the device, and I'm also using ISO recording. ISO recording, if you've seen my post earlier this week, I talked a lot about how I'm a really big fan of ISO recording. ISO recording means that as soon as you hit that record, it records on every single Mevo what they're seeing the entire time onto that SD card. And this is so useful in sports. Obviously lots of things, but definitely in sports where you don't know what's going to happen and when. So you need to quickly switch, and you're not always going to make that shot, right? You're not always going to catch the action if you're trying to automatically be switching. But with ISO recording, you will always have a recording of what's happening. You'll always have this shot, you'll always have this shot, and that shot. Even though I haven't switched to them, they're all recording, they're all backing up everything. This is great if I need to make a highlight later on, bring it into video editing software. There are lots of really cool uses for ISO recording, and I'm a huge fan of just having kind of a recording and backup of everything going on. So I talked a little bit about my audio setup. I'm using the Mevo mic app right now. So as you can see, I've got this lav mic connected here, and it goes to another phone that's right in my pocket. So if you don't know about the Mevo mic app, let me tell you a little bit about it. So it is a free app we've had for a very long time. If you haven't checked it out, I really highly recommend that you do. And to use the Mevo mic app with the Multicam app, you need to set it up first in the Mevo 2.0 app. And what it does is it transfers the audio signal over Wi-Fi and brings it into the Mevo 2.0 app from a secondary device. So this is something really easy to do. And if you're like me and you have maybe some old phones that you don't use, maybe a second tablet along with your phone, usually you have a secondary device. And so to easily set up and connect on using the Orbi, having my Mevo mic transmitting this audio signal to this phone, using the Mevo 2.0 app, set up first, super easy. And then obviously when you switch to the Multicam app, it'll continue using the Mevo mic app. So really easy to set up. And again, I really want to point out the kind of range that we have going on here. I don't know the exact range between first base and home plate, but we've got that kind of range. And then obviously I'm all the way on the pitcher's mound, and look at that, it's just so smooth, 1080p, beautiful Brooklyn day. So another cool thing about the Multicam app is how you can mix the audio inputs. So right now I'm using obviously the Mevo mic app going into the one Mevo, but let's say I had an audience. Let's say I had a entertaining coach and I wanted to grab that audio from the Mevo that's closest to it. I can quickly go into the audio settings and select that Mevo, and now you're hearing the internal microphone of that Mevo. If you've seen previous shows, you can also have a tablet or a computer that's going into that Mevo using its 3.5 millimeter TRS input, and then you can do sound effects. Maybe you want to do baseball music like I've done in previous shows. Maybe you want to do applauses. All of that can be done using the Mevo Multicam app and mixing those audio signals. So in addition to that, let's say that you don't have anybody to run the Multicam app. We've got Camera Assistant, and when you go to Camera Assistant and turn on Auto Director, the cameras will switch automatically. So if you just have that single person there, just me maybe, or maybe I'm too busy coaching, you can turn on Auto Director, and then it'll switch the camera on its own according to what the time you set between shots. You can also set up a preferred shot, so maybe my home plate shot is my preferred shot, and it'll switch to that one more often. So I've turned it on now, and obviously there we go, it's switching automatically. So again, this is great if you're just one person and you don't have a lot of people that can help you out and do the directing for you. Really easy to turn that on. I'm going to turn it off real quick. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let's talk about transition types. This is also something that we're always trying to improve and always trying to add on. So right now there's cut and crossfade. Crossfade is when you have that camera fading from one to the other. I'm going to set it up really high so you can appreciate the joy of the crossfade. So now with auto director and crossfade on, look at that, slowly fading from one camera to the other. And this adds a nice feel to your stream. Obviously, in sports, you might want that fast transition, but depending on your content, obviously, the crossfade can really add to that stream and make it more dynamic and more engaging. So I'm going to switch both of those off right now, switch back to cut, switch camera assistant off. And as you can see, with camera assistant on, it is switching to my preferred camera, which was this, more often. There we go. I really like this shot because it just really shows how beautiful today is. You can see some people enjoying the day on the other side of the field. So again, I hope that everybody's asking a bunch of questions and really getting into multicam. Obviously, we've been showing a lot of the great features today on the show, and one of the things that we're always playing around with is how we can improve the multicam streams and show you kind of how to use the multicam app in more and more ways. Obviously, sports is a big one. This is huge. We see tons and tons of baseball and softball games going on. This is obviously a very similar setup that you can do for other sports as well. Maybe you have a soccer game going on and you want to have different cameras cover different ends of the field. Obviously, if I had an audience right now or a crowd watching, I would love to have another camera that's facing the team, maybe another camera that is facing the parents. These reaction shots are really what make the streams that much more engaging. And then of course, adding the graphics not only adds to the engagement of the stream, the dynamicness, but also you can add that important information like who's up to plate. And this could be, obviously I've got text here, but this could be a graphic very easily where I have maybe the picture of the player that's up to the plate. Obviously the base is very important. These are different graphics. This lets me follow the player around the bases if I want. And then of course the innings. All this kind of information is hugely useful to the viewers that are watching, and it's incredibly easy to do with the Multicam app. With the 1.0 app, we've added these graphics, we've added the crop and zoom, we've shown that a little bit, and it's really amazing that this can all be done really cheaply, really simply. If you've seen in the Facebook group, we've talked a lot about the different kinds of Wi-Fi hubs that everybody's using. There's a great post that I made that we're getting a lot of great comments about what everybody's using. Obviously the Orbi is a little bit more on the expensive side for wireless routers, but you can certainly go much cheaper and still get that same great range. So that's a great choice. You can obviously do hotspot as well, but it's so nice to be able to have a camera at the first base, a camera home plate, and then a camera maybe that doesn't walk with you as you go, but maybe a camera that's in the dugout, again, looking at the audience, looking at the crowd, maybe the team. And so it really adds a nice level of coverage to the full game. So thank you everybody for joining me. It's been a quick show, and it's definitely a windy one, and I appreciate you guys for being here. And I really hope to do more shows on location very, very soon. and we'll check out all sorts of. If you're streaming from a cool destination, let us know. We'll try and reproduce it and show you kind of the best ways that you can do that. So again, thank you all for joining me. We've got shows all week long from Tuesday to Friday. We've got Joe's AMA show on Tuesdays, 2 o'clock Eastern time. He gets to answer all your questions about the Mevo and the Mevo apps. On Wednesday, obviously, we have this Multicam show, which is so exciting for us to do. Multicam is really new and really cool. You can do a lot of cool things with it. And don't forget, this is on phones, tablets, Android and iOS. It works for the Mevo First Gen, the Mevo Plus, and the Mevo Start. And it is able to use up to 3 Mevos at once. So then on Thursdays, we have Mevo Live, where Joe and I get to go into all sorts of topics of Mevo, really deep dive into them, as well as answer your questions. And then on Fridays, Joseph has a great show, and it is all about audio. If you have any audio questions at all, whether it's Mevo mic or otherwise, Joseph has the answers for those. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Join us next week and tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. Gosh, look at that beautiful day.